Welcome back to the World Model Podcast. For centuries, the discovery of new medicines and materials has been a slow and expensive and often serendipitous process. It's been a story of trial and error, of testing thousands of compounds to find one that works, a practice akin to alchemy. But we are on the cusp of a revolution that is replacing the black cauldron with the black box, the neural network. Today, we explore how world models are turning drug and material discovery from an artisanal craft into a precise predictive digital science. To understand this shift, we first must look at a precursor, DeepMind's AlphaFold. When it accurately predicted protein structures in 2020, it was a seismic event in biology. But what AlphaFold did was essentially solve a static structural problem. It was a magnificent pattern matcher for a molecular architecture. A world model goes several steps further. It doesn't just predict a protein's shape, it simulates its dynamics, how it moves, flexes, and interacts with other molecules in the complex fluid environment of a cell. Think of the difference between a photograph of a car and a high-fidelity driving simulator. The photograph tells you what it looks like. The simulator tells you how it behaves, how the engine responds to acceleration, how the suspension handles a bump. In drug discovery, the photograph is knowing a protein structure. The simulator is a world model that can predict how that protein will interact with a potential drug molecule over time. This is the leap from structural biology to functional biology. A world model trained on molecular dynamics can simulate the binding event itself. It can show you, in silico, how a small molecule drug docks into the active site of a protein, how the shape shifts and bonds form, and whether that interaction will have the desired therapeutic effect, all before a single molecule is ever synthesized in a lab. The implications are staggering. The traditional drug discovery pipeline can take over a decade and cost billions. The vast majority of that time and money is spent on dead ends, on compounds that fall in late-stage clinical trials. A robust molecular world model acts as a hyper-efficient filter. It can screen not thousands, but billions of virtual compounds, running simulations of the interactions and toxicity, narrowing the field to only the most promising candidates for real-world testing. This is what companies like Recursion Pharmaceuticals and Relay Therapeutics are pioneering. They are building digital twins of cellular processes. They are not just looking for drugs, they are building causal models of disease itself and simulating interventions. And this extends beyond biology into material science. Imagine wanting to design a new battery electrolyte that is safer and holds more charge. Instead of physically mixing and testing thousands of chemical soups, you build a world model of the electrochemical environment inside a battery. You can simulate the movements of ions, the formation of dendrites, the breakdown of materials at the atomic level. You can virtually test the lifetime of a new battery formulation in a matter of days, not years. This is the essence of digital alchemy. The ability to understand and manipulate the fundamental rules of a system so well that you can create new things with the intention, not just luck. My controversial take is that within a decade, the majority of preclinical drug and material discovery will happen in simulation. Wet labs will not disappear, but their role will shift from discovery to validation. The companies that own the most accurate molecular world models will hold the keys to the future of medicine and technology. They will be the new patent holders, not of specific compounds, but of the generative processes that design them. This raises profound questions. Who owns these models of life itself? How do we validate a digital trial? But the potential is undeniable. A future where treatments for rare diseases are economically viable to discover, where personalized medicine is the norm, and where we design materials to solve climate change, all because we first learned to simulate the atomic world. But as we grant AI this power to simulate and manipulate the physical world, we must also consider its power to simulate and manipulate us. In our next episode, we will descend into the ethical abyss of modeling human behavior itself. This has been the World Model Podcast. We trace the path from atoms to answers. Subscribe now.